What you see in the picture is that on the afternoon of September 6, the super typhoon Capricorn made landfall on the coast of Wenchang City, Hainan Province, China at around 4:20 p.m. The maximum wind force near the typhoon center was above level 17, reaching 62 meters per second. The lowest central air pressure is 915 hectopascals. There were violent storms and huge waves in the area. This is also the strongest typhoon to land in China since Typhoon Rammasun in 2014. What is horrifying is that the Haikou City Meteorological Observatory in Guangdong Province released a satellite cloud image of Typhoon Capricorn. It showed a terrifying image which frightened many netizens who exclaimed, "It's too scary." Capricorn is one of the super typhoons that has landed in Hainan, Guangdong since 1949. In terms of path and intensity, Capricorn was similar to the super typhoon Rammasun in 2014. They both had the characteristic of exploding and intensifying before landing at peak intensity. This is also a common characteristic of many catastrophic typhoons. The typhoon will also move westward after landing, bringing great influence and devastation to economically developed and densely populated areas such as Hainan, Guangdong, and Guangxi. As you can see from the video below, the typhoon was so powerful when it landed that the windows of some residents' homes were blown down. The glass was shattered on the floor and their homes were in a mess. Some residents' balconies were blown away by the typhoon in an instant. On September 6, 2024, when the typhoon made landfall, the sky was dark and people were blown to the ground by the wind and unable to get up. The Hainan Provincial Defense Typhoon Capricorn Emergency Command stated that as of 9 a.m. on September 6th, Hainan Province had completed the transfer of more than 410,000 people, and some cities and counties were still continuing to evacuate people. All 89 A-level tourist attractions in Hainan have been closed, and many roads, bridges, and tunnels in the province have been temporarily closed to traffic control. Haikou, Zhangjiang, Zhuhai, and Shenzhen, and other cities in Guangdong will all suspend classes starting from September 5th. It feels like the end of the world is coming. The houses are shaking and the trees have fallen down. Moreover, my home is very close to the seaside. It feels like what falls on the windows is not rain, but waves. Hug the tree. My God, he was blown down by the typhoon. Where did he go? I don't know. Was he trying to move the car and he fell? The typhoon was so fierce that after a thunderstorm, the lights in the entire building turned on in an instant. This scene was so awesome that all the lights in the building opposite came on. In addition, according to the requirements of the 3 defense headquarters of Haikou City, Guangdong Province, 6 suspension measures of suspension of classes, suspension of work, suspension of transport, suspension of sailings, suspension of parks, and suspension of business will be implemented in batches across the city from 12 p.m. on September 5th. The public account of Haikou Transportation Investment Group also announced that starting from September 5th, all bus lines in Haikou will cease operations one after another. In response to the typhoon, a large number of Haikou citizens also went to supermarkets to buy supplies. The video below shows a mother in Haikou City who saw the building they lived in shaking and hurriedly took her children to the basement for safety. The central eye of Category 17 Typhoon Capricorn has reached Haikou. The building was shaking so hard that we couldn't stay in the house anymore, so we were going to take the children out to the basement to take refuge. As soon as I opened the door, it was flooded, and the whole corridor smelled of stinky water. The decorative wooden boards and iron sheets on the stairwell have been blown away, and the exposed wires were too dangerous. Look, the floor is full of water. Wooden sticks and plaster were falling from the top ceiling of the basement. This isn't safe. Let's go, don't stay here. The electric car sheds were all overturned. Look at this row of electric cars. This place originally had a roof, but all the electric cars were overturned. Another citizen said that he lives in Hainan and often encounters typhoons, but this time, because the building he lives in kept shaking, he felt nervous and scared like never before. This wind is extremely strong. This is the first time I've encountered such a strong typhoon in my life. The whole building is shaking. I am on the 30th floor and the glass keeps shaking and vibrating. I am worried that I cannot withstand it. It was so scary, I was panicking inside. The building kept moving and my head was spinning. As a Hainanese, encountering typhoons is very common, and it may even be a bit fun. But this time it was different. The wind was so strong that cars, billboards, and shrubs on the road were all uprooted. It can only be said that this typhoon was the strongest in history and was extremely damaging. Even when I was in this building, I could feel the whole building shaking. This time, it made me nervous. Faced with such a huge natural disaster, people are worried that the losses in Guangdong and Guangxi provinces will be huge this time. Look at that wave rolling all over this window pane. It's so scary. The impact of this kind of disaster is too great, but there is nothing we can do and no one can intervene. This typhoon is so terrifying and people are so insignificant in the face of natural disasters. The damage caused by this disaster must have been brutal. It's terrible. I just saw that the windows of several neighbors were broken. We are still in the city, but it would be even scarier if we were in the countryside. I estimate that this time not only Guangdong and Hainan, but also Guangxi province will be affected. Farmers' crops will definitely not be saved. A farmer in Zhangjiang, Guangdong took a video before the typhoon arrived. He said the hundreds of acres of bananas he planted originally had a good price this year and thought he could make money. But now that the typhoon caught up, everything is gone. The loss is estimated to be at least 50 to 60,000 yuan. The typhoon is coming. When you wake up tomorrow morning, you will see that this banana orchard will no longer exist. A typhoon of more than 10 levels will uproot it. All the hard work for so many years is gone. I watched helplessly as hundreds of acres of bananas were about to be blown over, but there was nothing I could do. I have to leave too. This small house will not be able to withstand the typhoon. I can no longer hold on in the banana orchard. After leaving the banana farm, I came to my friend's place. They lived in a small bungalow which looked and felt no better than my place. Now, go take a look inside. This is the living room. Look here, this house looks very old, comparable to my place. The wind is getting stronger and stronger now. I went to the banana farm this morning, caught only 2 chickens and came back. There's a typhoon of more than 10 levels, and that old house is 20 or 30. I hope I can survive this time. When the typhoon made landfall, extremely heavy rain occurred in most areas of Hainan Island. The northern half of the land is accompanied by strong winds of magnitude 13 to magnitude 16, and trees on the streets have fallen down. Some cities and counties have experienced widespread power outages. Let's look at the devastation caused to the local areas after Capricorn passes. We are now on the road between Nansha and Jinxing. There is water here and it's become a vast ocean. There are also some vehicles driving in front of us. All these fences on the road have fallen down. Look at this bus stop again. All the stop signs have been blown away. According to Reuters, Typhoon Capricorn is currently the second most powerful tropical cyclone in the world in 2024, second only to this summer's Atlantic Category 5 Hurricane Beryl. It's very rare for super typhoons to land on Hainan Island. In the past, most typhoons that landed on the island were weak. From 1949 to 2023, Hainan has experienced a total of 106 typhoons making landfall, of which only 9 were classified as super typhoons. At the same time, Capricorn is also the strongest typhoon to land in China since Typhoon Rammasun in 2014. Affected by the typhoon, Hong Kong's stock exchange suspended trading for the entire day on September 6th, and schools were also closed. Haiphong City in Vietnam began to implement a maritime ban on navigation on the morning of September 6 local time. At the same time, 4 airports including Noi Bai and Van Don were closed. Finally, let's take a look at the video of the landing of Typhoon Capricorn uploaded by Chinese netizens.